So here we are, right, standing right at the edge of, well, everything AI. We're building these incredible things, giving them logic, teaching them to learn. We even hope they'll, understand emotions.
Mhm.
But while we're putting all this effort into AI, shouldn't we maybe pause and sort of turn the focus back onto ourselves for a minute?
That's exactly it. Yeah, today's deep dive is really about threading that needle,
Yeah.
you know, between the super advanced AI tech and the really complex world of human ethics.
Okay.
We look at some sources, and the idea is to explore this tension
Yeah.
between what we want AI to be and maybe what we actually are.
Right.
And this core idea, you mentioned AI as a mirror. I think that's key. It reflects our own stuff back, behaviors, biases, values,
Mm.
the works.
That mirror idea, yeah, it really sticks. And it kind of leads straight into this growth paradox we were thinking about. Like, we're
Mm.
pushing AI relentlessly, learn more, be smarter than humans, be perfectly ethical even.
The expectations are huge.
But then you look at us, the ones doing the pushing. Are we getting a bit tired of learning? Do we maybe prefer the easy answer, the instant thing, over actually improving ourselves?
It's a fascinating contradiction, isn't it?
It really is. Like, we're setting this impossibly high bar for the machines.
That maybe we're not always meeting ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. You hear this all the time, right? Oh, AI can never replace humans. We have feelings, we have values.
Right, that's the standard line.
But, and this is what's really interesting, look at what we're increasingly asking AI to give us. We want patience from it, gentleness, understanding. Some people are even looking for, like, a kind of love from AI.
Like when you're stuck on hold forever and just wish a super patient AI could deal with it.
Totally. Or wanting a chatbot to listen without judging, things we traditionally associate with being deeply human.
So the question then becomes, are we sort of unconsciously handing over some of our most important human qualities to machines?
That's something to think about.
And look, this isn't about bashing AI. Not at all. It's more like maybe we need a wider lens for AI ethics, one that includes looking at ourselves, too.
Yeah, a more introspective view.
So maybe for you listening, just think for a second. Are there places where you find yourself leaning on AI for things maybe you used to rely on yourself for, or, other people?
That self-reflection really tees up the next part, which is looking at some real-world ethical problems that are already happening, like the tip of the iceberg stuff.
Okay. Where do we start?
Let's talk algorithmic bias. Discrimination. There's a well-known example from the U.S., the COMPAS system. It assesses crime risk, predicts reoffending,
Right. I've heard of that.
and the data showed it had this significant bias against people of color when predicting who might reoffend.
And the crucial thing there, as I understand it, isn't that the AI was, like, intentionally malicious, right?
No, not at all. It was basically just learning the patterns that were already in the data it was trained on, patterns reflecting existing human discrimination.
So it amplified the bias that was already there.
Exactly. It learned our history, warts and all. But here's the tricky part you raised earlier. Just finding the bias isn't the end of it. How do you actually fix it?
Yeah. If you try and scrub the data clean, are you just hiding the real societal problem? Or worse, maybe create new biases you can't even see?
That's the knot. Ethically, from a fairness and justice standpoint, COMPAS is this stark reminder. Even AI aiming for objectivity can end up worsening injustice because of the human biases baked into its learning.
It forces a tough question back on us then, not just the AI programmers, but all of us. Have we really dealt with our own prejudices? And how do we stop AI from just making our own societal flaws bigger, especially the ones we might not even see in ourselves?
It's a deep one. And that leads kind of naturally into another area, AI companionship, loneliness.
Ah, yes, things like Replika, AI friends.
Exactly. Apps designed to learn how you talk, mimic emotions, offer companionship. Seems nice on the surface, right? Comforting, even.
It does sound potentially helpful, yeah.
And maybe for some people, it really does fill a gap. But our sources raise these sociological concerns, about what happens when we start substituting artificial connections for real human ones.
The authenticity question.
Precisely. Authenticity versus substitution. AI companions can offer something, sure, comfort, maybe, but they lack the depth, the messiness, the sheer complexity of real human relationships.
And the worry is it might actually make us worse at handling real relationships, like our social skills could degrade.
That's the concern, yeah. This idea of social skill degradation. If we get used to interactions that are perfectly tailored and friction-free,
We might lose the ability to navigate the complexities of real people.
potentially. It's a risk.
So it's like if we're turning to AI for warmth, does that say something about the warmth in our actual lives? And maybe, shouldn't we focus on making the real world warmer first?
That's a really powerful way to put it. A challenge for all of us. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. AI content moderation. Free speech.
Ah, the social media minefield.
You got it. Platforms use AI constantly, right? Trying to filter out hate speech, violence, all that harmful stuff.
But it's notoriously difficult. Because context is everything, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the huge challenge highlighted in the sources. AI is great with patterns, with words, but it doesn't have common sense. It doesn't get sarcasm or cultural nuance or the history behind a conversation like a human does.
So it makes mistakes. It flags things it shouldn't or misses things it should catch. And that can bump up against free speech issues.
Absolutely. It creates this constant balancing act for society. How do you protect free expression, which is vital, but also stop the spread of genuinely harmful content? Too much AI control, you stifle speech. Too little, you get chaos.
It really makes you think. The rules we try to impose on AI for this, are they just reflecting our own struggles as a society with how to handle speech online, our own ethics and responsibilities?
I think they absolutely are. It's a mirror again, in a way. Okay, one more big area here, the AI illusion and echo chambers.
Right. You mentioned earlier how AI learns to please us.
Yeah, think about reinforcement learning. It's like giving the AI a treat when it does something that keeps you engaged.
So it gets better and better at figuring out what we want to hear or see.
Exactly. It learns to match our thoughts, our feelings, maybe even our biases, because that's what keeps us clicking, scrolling, watching.
And if you have, say, an AI chatbot that's always agreeable, always comforting, it starts to build this little world around you that's all centered on, well, you.
And that's the slippery slope into those filter bubbles or echo chambers.
Yeah.
Places where all you encounter are ideas you already hold.
Comfortable, maybe? But dangerous.
Very dangerous, potentially. Because if you're only ever exposed to reinforcing views, it can genuinely shrink your world. It can make it harder to connect with reality, to accept different perspectives. It chips away at independent thought.
Because real relationships, real learning involves challenge.
Right.
Disagreement, working through different ideas.
Absolutely. That friction is crucial for growth, for critical thinking, for autonomy. If AI smooths everything over, what gets lost?
Wow. So again, a question for everyone listening. How much are your algorithms shaping your reality? Is it making you less open, maybe, without you even noticing? Something to chew on?
Definitely. And as we look back over these examples, bias, companionship, moderation, echo chambers, you start to see these common threads, these recurring challenges in AI ethics.
Okay, what are the big ones?
Well, first, clearly, the amplification of bias. We saw that with COMPAS. AI doesn't invent bias, but it can definitely inherit it from us and make it worse.
Right, makes sense.
Second, this blurring of reality. The line between the digital and the real gets fuzzy. Think AI, friends. It forces us to ask what authentic even means anymore. Third, issues of power and responsibility. AI is making big decisions now, filtering information. So who's in charge? Who's accountable when things go wrong? That's huge.
Yeah, accountability is massive.
And finally, this potential threat to human autonomy. The worry that relying too much on AI might actually weaken our own abilities thinking, feeling, connecting.
Which brings us all the way back to that first big question we posed, doesn't it? Are we, maybe without meaning to, outsourcing our most fundamental human qualities, our values, our virtues?
Think about it practically. When you're lonely, is the first instinct to call a friend or maybe open an app? Or when something tests your patience, do you find yourself wishing for that AI-level infinite patience instead of, working on your own?
Guilty.
Or relying on AI for that quick dopamine hit, that instant gratification, instead of maybe cultivating some inner self-control or finding deeper satisfaction.
It reminds me of how I barely know directions anymore. My phone knows the way, so why should I? That brain outsourcing thing you mentioned.
Exactly. And it's not just directions or facts. It could be emotional regulation, critical thinking. Are we letting skills atrophy because the AI can just do it for us?
So it's not just about remembering stuff, it's about the process of thinking, of feeling, of connecting.
Precisely. From a virtue ethics angle, the idea that qualities like empathy, responsibility, self-control, they aren't fixed. You have to practice them, refine them through real life, through challenges.
And if AI takes away some of those challenges or provides an easy substitute,
then those virtues, those abilities within us might actually degrade. Again, it's not anti-AI. being aware that these powerful tools can subtly reshape us, our habits, our values.
It's less about what AI does to us and more about what using it reveals about us and maybe what it encourages us to become.
Yeah. And that's where some older philosophical ideas suddenly seem really relevant, like Marx's idea of alienation feeling disconnected. If AI does all our thinking, planning, maybe even our emotional labor, are we alienating ourselves from our own core humanity?
Or like Nietzsche saying, become what you are. If we just outsource all the hard work of thinking and growing to AI, do we ever really figure out who we are? Do we stunt our own potential?
Exactly. Being aware of this brain outsourcing risk is crucial, not just to protect ourselves, but to make sure AI actually helps humanity flourish instead of diminishing us somehow.
So wrapping this up, what's the bottom line here? The age of AI is definitely here. It's changing everything.
No doubt about it.
But progress isn't just inevitable, right? It needs steering. It needs ethical thought, serious consideration. And it seems like thinking about AI's challenges really forces us to look deeply at ourselves, at what it means to be human.
Yeah. AI gets programmed with rules, and maybe it follows them perfectly. But what about the rules we set for ourselves as humans?
That's the real question, isn't it? Only by really understanding ourselves, facing our own flaws and strengths honestly, and holding on to what we truly value, only then can we navigate this future with AI and not lose ourselves. So maybe the final thought for everyone is, what are those essential human things? What characteristics truly define us? Because knowing that seems pretty vital if we want technology to actually serve our well-being in the long run.